Hello, hi, I'm Patricia McNeilly. I'm an Illumins Blu-ray twin flame from Chicago, Illinois. I hope you're doing well because today what I have to talk to you about is I finally have my 5th book out. Book 5 is available now. Book 5, Gridwork and Your New Life. And it is in an ebook format. What is the book about? Well, a lot of people have been very confused on this journey. And first of all, I want to remind you what this journey is about. It is about love. It's about being in love. It's about living with your true love again after many lives of not living with them. Some of you might remember that. Some of you may not remember what happened to you. Why aren't we together? Why can't we get together? Why are we purging all this stuff? So in each of my books, I've sort of taken you through some of that evolution as to why. This book is about your new life with each other and some of the things that it takes to set up some stuff. Gridwork is both your setups, and it is also, it goes beyond putting closure to things. It takes you to a level where you yourself can be in your sovereignty. Gridwork is not something mysterious or esoteric. It actually is about the things that you want and like and love in your life or that you need for right now. Gridwork is exactly the reason why the traditional law of attraction doesn't seem to work too well for twin flames. You do have to attract things. You attract things that you love with love, but you have to do a certain amount of grid work. Why? Because your grid work actually works through your body. That is how your new life body is designed. You have a brand new body. You have a twin flame body. And you have a connection to your true love that is bringing you into a new life with each other. What are some of the other topics I talk about in my book? I have several topics. In fact, there's 18 chapters. I talk about your new life. I talk about your inner growth. I talk about the high heart energy and the heart energy. I talk about why you have aches and pains along your spine. So to kind of go through the list, because there's about 18 chapters in there, I talk about your sacred sexuality, the energy and the dynamics and what this means, because you are bringing your love to the level of sacred again. That means that there's going to be a lot of differences between 3D survivalist type of sex or even tantric sex and the sacred sex of the 5th dimension, sacred lovemaking, creating another energy, creating the 3rd energy. So I talk about some of those dynamics and the energies. I explain in here an outline about receiving your full higher self properly. How do you receive? What are you receiving? What does it entail? Why? What is evolving in you? What is upgrading? What are all these downloads that you're getting? What is your DNA activation? I also explain about the grid. The grid can have different names that you hear out there. The crystal grid, the old grid's referred to as the matrix or programs, okay? I explain all that in the book. So I want to take the guesswork out of it. I talk about creating your personal grid and new connections. These are things that are very personal to you because the new template, the new body template that you are integrating can only be customized by you and your twin together. Not by other people, not by a whole series of guides, not by a whole series of archangels. It's you two. It's going to be unique to you and the places that you've been. It's also going to include things that you need to get resolution on. Court cases. So all of these retrograde energies, use them wisely. because the retrograde will shed light. The moon shed light. We had the pink moon. We also had a little ways back, we had the super blood wolf moon that affected a lot of the men and a lot of the masculine energies within people. But this retrograde is like a pushback. Retro, okay? What's a throwback? What are you reviewing? What are you getting resolution on? What do you need to get resolution on? Your grid work will include things that are personal to you, things such as child support. So when people make comments on the videos and they say things like, well, I can't get any action out of this person, please get my book, because I explain to you the way that twin flames roll and how we get actions done. We don't do it with arguments. We don't do it with fighting. We're using the force of love on people and getting actions made at the level where they need to get accomplished so that it benefits your new life, okay? It's been suggested out there by some twin flame people that part of the reason men hesitate is that they don't want to take on other people's problems, or they don't want to be saddled with other men's children, or they're not really sure if they're going to be able to see this relationship through. Or they want to stay in their relationship because, by God, they want to make sure that, you know, they're not failing yet again in another thing. It's all bunk, okay? That's just not the reasons. So you have to work on your own discernment and get to a deep level, because the way that I'm outlining the grid work, there's a proper way to do it so that you accomplish and receive the things that are necessary for your life. The things that you need in life, the things that you need to help each other resolve, because that's how twin flames do things. We don't get angry, we don't discuss it, we just start getting to action on it. Sometimes that action is engaging your physical body, but it always has to engage your light body. And it's time for you to learn this, time for you to learn proper grid work. I also explain in there about the grid work that's already been done at ancient sites. So while it might seem like a lot of fun to go to the pyramids, or to go to Machu Picchu, or to go to Stonehenge, or to go to the Angkor Wat in Cambodia, sure, it's a lot of fun. But you see, those are places that twin flames have already infused energy in the past, and it's already been taken out. You are your own vortex of love, and your grid is where you're infusing your love energy so that it elevates your life and it uplifts all of the things that you need. It's down to just your day in and day out stuff also. It's not saving humanity, it's saving the parts of your life and humanity and elevating it to a level that serves you properly, that feeds you back, that reciprocates love back to you. This can be schools, it could be healthcare centers. It could have to do with elderly parents that you're trying to get situated. So I explain that in there. What is the other thing? Creating your grid and new connections. You actually have brand new connections to cosmic levels that you may not realize need to be connected to you. Some of those same connections are right here on Earth. Now, some of the other things that I discuss in the book, I have quite a few topics here. Your metabolic adjustments, I talk about that. Clearing to receive and accept the union, to accept the unification and accept the physical part of your union. Allowing your angel side to open and surrendering to the things that happen, and what is a proper surrender and what isn't a proper surrender. So I'll tell you what it isn't. It isn't being between times and getting impatient and just saying, well, I'll just date someone else. It's important to be celibate, and I do explain that in there, and I explain why. But the bottom line is, if you keep putting other people's energies in, at some point you're still going to have to take those out, and all you really do is delay your own process. What if you are currently in a relationship that you know is on the way out? You may need certain things that I do explain in the grid work so that you can set up. What if you need a license to work and you're not sure, or you hesitate, or you say to yourself, gosh, all the times I try to go for something, I get shot down. The answer is no. I don't seem to have that golden touch that other people have. The law of attraction doesn't work for me. Well, guess what? Yes, it does. And I teach you how to do that in the book. And I can teach you in person. I can do a one-on-one session, and I'm going to be having a class here in Chicago to teach this stuff live, where we can demo it. The other part I talk about is your heart, changes that your heart is going through, the inner part of the heart, and organ upgrades. This is going to include heart, high heart, kidneys, and some of the related areas. A lot of people are going through fatigue, discomfort, irritation, annoyance. You're having anger issues and fatigue at the same time. You're angry and you're fatigued, and you feel tense, and you don't know why. There are explanations in the book, and it's fairly explained in a lot of ways with a lot of the symptoms listed, but also what to do. Because I'm a firm believer in not just reporting the news and saying, hey, today you could be having symptoms of this and that. I give you a way to do something about it, to alleviate it, to get deeper connected, and have it be gone. Just like the god or goddess that you are in your twin flame union. Be gone from us. Yes, find out how, and find out how much easier it can be. I teach you in there about using some essential oils to alleviate things, specific oils, key points to put them on. I talk about some supplements to help during the organ upgrades and how you would use those. And the beginning way for the inner body preparation and creating physical and emotional intimacy with each other. Now, that's an important thing, because some people may feel that they know someone very well, but what if that relationship is more like an opponent? And it's like saying, you know your opponent very well. You know all the moves they're going to make. You know what the script is before the words even come out of their mouth. That is not passion. That is drama. That's not love. That is more like having an opponent. What if you have someone that is into you because they're in you? What if you yourself are into someone because they're in you? And how would you create the emotional side and intimacy? It happens through your body. How do you get to those levels where you don't even need a discussion for things, and yet you know each other so well? So I have several exercises in the book to practice so that you yourself can start having some high-level experiences and not be in the mode where you're looking through the window at other people enjoying life, or you're looking at other people and saying, well, hey, why are they in union? Why are they in union? Those people may not be in union. They may just be two people who are soulmates. So it takes discernment to really tell. But I still say to you, focus on your own true love story. Get yourself where you need to be. Get your things resolved. Do not be the person that's just looking through the window at the candy store. You got woken up for a reason. And that in and of itself makes you unique, because there are only so many people awakened to this at this time. More people will be down the line. And there's a reason for it. We have to get some of the people situated and get them successful in their union. But you have to participate. This is not a passive thing. This is not a tacit thing. Many things that are being taught out there have been relevant for only one dimension. They're not fifth dimensional. They're not multidimensional. They're not teaching you about your brand new template of 5D relationship. They are not teaching you about your twin flame body, no matter how well intentioned they are. And I don't mean to criticize it, but I've had people tell me time and again, Patricia, your things are the only things I've seen out there like this. I don't think other people are doing what you're doing. I know that they're not, because I'm here to teach it. I don't say that from arrogance. I'm saying that from a certainty and from my own resolve to make sure that this is available for you. This is the gift that God has given me to be able to interpret, experience it myself. Everything that I write in my books, I've personally experienced. This is not theory. It's not a concept. It's not the newest new age thing. If anything, it is very new. It is so new. This is not something that is just a concept out there. But what about this twin flame concept? I do explain to people what it is that I do. And a lot of times it's a challenge, because to try and explain everything about a twin flame and what it's about and what it is. But there are some very simple things that people relate to. Being in love, being intimate with someone, having someone who's into you, being romantic. Not everyone knows about being romantic, and that was a surprise to me, but that's a valid thing. Not everyone has had someone treat them romantically. They've had them treat them sexually or like a convenience. Women and men are not conveniences for someone else's sexual outlet. If you're awakened to this, you are here for more than what you may have been shown so far. Allow your higher self to be received properly so you can be shown further what exactly this is and what isn't. I even have, in one of my chapters, I talk about something that's very dear to people that they look for, what I call textual healing. Okay, textual healing. What is that? I think a lot of you know what that is. You think that if you get a text, everything's going to be all right. So I talk about that in there. This is something that sometimes, what this really means is you want acknowledgement. You want to be acknowledged. You want someone to treat you fairly. You want them to communicate with you. You want what belongs to you to return to you. That is what I'm suggesting with my grid work, is get the things that belong to you back to you, get it cleared off. This is next level. This goes beyond some of the purging that you're doing in a passive way. So if you're purging in ways where you say, oh gosh, I've got the ascension flu today. I think I'm going to barf. I think I'm going to vomit. I don't feel okay. And this happens to all of us along the journey. You genuinely have days where it's not enough to take you to the doctor or the hospital, but you can genuinely say, I don't feel okay. I don't feel like myself. Have you been doing your grid work? Because you should, and you will find that things start to, it's like turning the gears and getting things moving for you again. You know, the gears can start to turn and get together. You have a new life. There are things that you need to learn. There are things that you want to create. There may be a family you want to have, or a family you already have, or a family you're integrating together. One of the differences between what I do and my exercises and other exercises, they are twin flame specific. They also are developed so that you're opening the channels between you and your true twin flame, not other people. So gradually you actually have a way to get other people and all their energies out, even if they have good intentions, even if it's your mom worrying about you, because that happened to me. I could feel my mom blocks away worrying about me. It doesn't matter if the person is, you know, next door or miles away. Sometimes we can feel things. And sometimes we just don't want all of it. Sometimes we don't want to be the empath. Sometimes people don't want to have to be a narcissist. They just don't know any other way. They may not know that there's other ways to protect their energies. I'm giving you the ways. I'm giving you the way to get the channels open, because when you have your channels open, this is how you reciprocate love. Not just across to each other, but from above. This is how you maintain your health. And this is true sustainability. Sustainability is a word that gets tossed around a lot. What does that mean? Oh, it means that I used all my trash and I made fertilizer in my garden and I'm sustaining my garden and I'm recycling my trash. Yeah, it can mean that. But for twin flames, it means you are sustaining each other and not draining each other. If someone is draining you, red flag. If someone is abusive to you, red flag. And you have to understand that while a lot of people talk about stages and phases and, different things that they go through, just to, make it sensible, that makes sense, that makes sense, okay? Abuse is not one of the stages, okay? Abuse is abuse. And you're not here for that, twin flame or not. So if it's your twin flame, you got to remove it. And then you need my stuff. And you probably need a session with me. Has to be removed. If it isn't, and yeah, you have to find out how to clear and then clear that person's energies out of you and get yourself doing the grid work so that you get the things that you want in your new life. Okay, that is the golden opportunity that is being presented here on earth, is to have a brand new life, a brand new fresh start, a brand new clean slate, a way to do things over, and do it till you get it right, because you really can't be wrong. But you're on a time clock here, okay? As much as people have been patient and waiting, there are things that are intended to happen for you this year. For a lot of people, don't dilly-dally. Don't put it off. I had a lot of intense pressure on me to get this written so that it was in a format that it was usable for a lot of people. And I encourage you, get my book, try it. It's very well written. I'm very proud of all my work. And it is very easy to download. Everything that is in the book that I suggest is also available on my store at twinflamebody.com. And so this is book 5. I have a series of books. This is book 5. I also offer Twin Flame Body classes live here in Chicago, and I will be making some classes in the New York area, in Florida, and hopefully in some other areas. I think Hawaii, and hopefully in England. And I do suggest my causal body session. Now, if you are a male-female couple, I want to explain something to you females. You're not here to tote the load all by yourself, but you are here to connect your body and to learn some things about this. How your twin flame learns is through you, not through a conversation. It's like osmosis. And people who know their twin flame sometimes know, hey, my twin knows my language. The only way could be through the heart. We know each other. There are things we know about each other. If you're a male and your twin is sort of like this, and you say, why doesn't my twin really see me the way I should be seen? How is it that I'm here? Well, you're not here to prop up her situation either. What if you are two men? There are dynamics between two men that still need to be collapsed and still need to be wired up properly. That is intended for you to discern through the things that I am outlining here. because your twin flame body is your body that is eternal, that you're taking with you. If you're two women, same thing. And sometimes you have some additional challenges because of things like menstrual cycles. Those are some additional challenges you might have. Things come into synchronization in a different way for real twin flames. And it's not with the mental way. Yes, there are messages and things that you see. So find out how to receive your full higher self properly, create your grid and your new connections, your angel side. Maybe people have told you, oh, you're such an angel. Thank you so much. Thanks for what you've done. But do you know that you actually have an angel side that needs to open up? Do you know how to do that? Explain that in this section here, because that's how you really make love. You're not making love as humans. You make love as human angelics and really as angelics. And that's your destiny while you're still living here. So please share this, because I have a lot of good information just in this video. I've been doing this for years. I have a lot of material. Some people are just coming into the time where they're finding out about this. This is not about, you know, some of the things you might see out there, like learning ancient Sanskrit. I mean, that's very explanatory language. We all lived in those ancient places. A lot of us lived in those ancient places. But your ancient past is being gotten rid of. And a lot of it needs to be, so that the heaviness gets out. So thanks so much for watching. The link is below, and it's also on my website. If you have questions or you need some guidance on how I can help you, write to me at twinflamesmerge@gmail.com. Okay? And find out the real ways to heal and connect, and not just simply through text. When you put yourself through text, you get this big. Remember the love. Remember about building up a brand new foundation here for your new life. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye.